Hi everyone, this is Greg Beyer and I'm presenting my Middle Georgia State University ITEC 6900 Capstone presentation on universal email encryption for non-technical users. I sought an existing practical implementations of email encryption, be they well-established PKI encryption or a new technology that might have come along to simplify that. The requirements for my study were that they be in production, and certainly not beta or worse vaporware or merely conceptual. I wanted to cover the three major desktop operating systems of Windows 10, OS X, and Linux. I don't have access to an iPhone, so I wasn't able to experiment with that platform. I do have old Android phones around for testing. However, once I got into locating, testing, and documenting my findings for the desktops, I found that I had quite a handful alone just testing and presenting on those. So the current state of email communications is that many people are unaware that their email is transmitted clear text across the internet once it leaves their mail service provider. It also usually sits clear text on the server when at rest. The only link that is protected and encrypted is the SSL or TLS link that is set up between your browser and the email server, or between your POP or IMAP client and your email server, where you access your mail and when you send your mail. This is only the first hop of many as your mail transits the internet. So why do we need to encrypt our email? Well, we conduct our private and business lives largely by email instead of hard copy mail, which is enclosed by a security and privacy envelope. Email fraud is the #1 hot topic of the FBI in its newest Internet Crime Report. As data is stored at rest, the valuable information that it contains for fraudsters is very useful in crafting phishing emails, if that data can be compromised in a compromised email account. But personal and business information is open to domestic and foreign intelligence agencies. The Five Eyes reciprocal arrangement between state signal intelligence agencies facilitates circumvention of domestic surveillance restrictions between the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, New Zealand, and Australia. For all these reasons, it's imperative that we secure our email through strong encryption. This capability has been around for a long time, since 1991, when Pretty Good Privacy was invented by Phil Zimmerman. However, the steep learning curve of implementing and using it has been a critical obstacle. It is based upon public key infrastructure, or PKI, and uses a key pair consisting of a public key, which is freely given to anyone, and a private key, with which only the rightful recipient of an email may decrypt the message. Because of the learning curve, users must be highly motivated to configure and use PGP, or GPG as it is known in the open source. Therefore, it is used by persons in repressive nation situations, political dissidents, journalists, or other sensitive communities who have to be extremely careful about the security of their email communications. Whitten and Tygar detailed PGP's shortcomings in their landmark paper in 1999 entitled "Why Johnny Can't Encrypt." I found and tested 3 desktop platform implementations along with 2 browser add-ons which can encrypt your webmail. The desktop clients were Mozilla Thunderbird in combination with Enigmail, Apple Mail in combination with GPG Suite, and Microsoft Outlook in combination with GPG for Win. For webmail encryption, I found that Firefox in combination with Mailvelope add-on or Chrome along with Mailvelope can encrypt webmail sessions. Unfortunately, Internet Explorer, I could find no add-ons or capabilities for encrypting webmail. After early literature review, I found a capability built into Enigmail called AutoCrypt intriguing. However, it is limited in that it is only available in one mail platform, Thunderbird. And although it is built into Enigmail, I could not get automatic key exchange to occur between two clients which had public keys configured. I contacted support for the project, which is very limited in the form of a mailing list or an IRC chat channel, and I never got a reply back in time for this presentation. I will continue to seek out an answer for how to get AutoCrypt to work. Further, a new encryption scheme just announced in March of 2019 is called E3 or Easy Email Encryption. In the paper presented by its author and hailed in the press release at Columbia University, it was celebrated as the solution for simple email encryption. However, when I began testing it and I spoke with the author, I found out that at best it's betaware, and it's only been tested in a single platform, which is a specially crafted Android K9 email client. So this really wasn't a candidate for something that I wanted to test out, either with myself or with pilot testers. My methodology was that I'd planned to provide a minimally configured email account on an email client and have my pilot subjects use my provided documentation to install, configure, generate a key pair, and then send and receive encrypted email. I would then have that small group of pilot subjects answer a survey on their experience. Unfortunately, as I got into my research, I uncovered that inflicting this test upon my subjects would have been a very cruel exercise, probably causing them to dismiss encryption for life. I discovered it was so complicated to use. Nevertheless, I'm providing for your perusal survey instrument that I intended to use. It was an 18-point question in which I asked them about their usability of the client that they chose to test. It was to be graded on to be scored on a 5-point Likert scale. The 6th point on the question at the left was that they could indicate that they did not use the particular email client that the questions on the right-hand side specified. The most complete solution that I found was Mozilla Thunderbird in combination with Enigmail add-on. Unfortunately, Enigmail is not available for any other mail clients, so it's limited to people who want to use Mozilla Thunderbird, which is a competent mail client, but it's not for everyone. Installation was smooth, including creation of the key pair. The place where it fell down was in uploading the public key, which I generated, to a key server. It boasts the ability to query a public key server to find someone else's public key so that you can compose an encrypted message to them. However, I was also unsuccessful in querying for public keys for anyone. And as I said before, although AutoCrypt was built into Enigmail, it was not clear how to use it, and inquiries for assistance at the AutoCrypt project went unanswered. Secondly, I tried Microsoft Outlook along with the external program of GPG for Win. This uses a typical Windows installation wizard However, it did require a reboot after installation. Following the reboot, the user must then invoke a key management tool that was installed with it called Cleopatra, and that's used to generate the key pair and also to upload the public key to a key server. Unfortunately, just like with Enigmail, I was unsuccessful in uploading my public key to a key server, and likewise, I was unable to query the public key server for anyone's public key. I also discovered that documentation was fragmentary, and I had to search a number of blogs to find the full documentation on how to configure this solution. And finally, I tested on OS X Apple Mail with a third-party product called GPG Suite. I was able to similarly very automatically install and generate my key pairs. It was very similar experience with Enigmail. However, along with the other two products, I was unable to upload the public key that I had generated or to get any hits on public keys for anyone else that I searched for. So in conclusion, I found promising solutions for simple encryption. However, the implementations were buggy. I was forced to conduct extensive searches to find all the solutions except for Enigmail, which seems to be well advertised. However, configuring them all required an awful lot of research, and it's probably one of the obstacles that's going to keep people from implementing it themselves until documentation is improved. All of them had the foible of being unable to upload the public key to a public key server or to search a public key server to find someone else's public key. The workaround for this is that one can manually email a correspondent the public key that you've generated, but you have to find that on your hard drive and attach it to an email. That's much more cumbersome than simply uploading it to a key server and sending it on. In summary, email encryption, whether it's classic end-to-end PKI or the new style of opportunistic encryption, remains a difficult technical and user experience challenge. The decades-old PKI-based solutions are the furthest ahead in usability, though they still have their user experience and cross-platform shortcomings. Proprietary walled garden products that offer encryption may be a solution for people who need simple to implement, well-documented encryption. However, it does not provide the universal open source solutions that we've reviewed here. These are often commercial, so you have to pay for access. So they're not for everyone, but they might be the solution for some people. An additional note that I'd like to add at the very end of this is the encryption of SMS messages, which is the texting that we do on our cell phones. Just like email, SMS messages are sent and stored on servers clear text. However, there is an app that I discovered in my research called Signal, available at signal.org or in your app or your Play Store. And Signal offers end-to-end encryption of SMS messages along with encrypted phone calls and encrypted video calls. So that might be something that you'd be interested in taking a look at and using on your own phone. So I hope you have found this brief presentation on a chronically complex topic informative, and I look forward to your questions. My references below are below, and I will scroll through those for a few seconds for each page.